All right, guys. We are here today. The market is running up this morning, running up. And while I'm pretty neutral politically, I can't say I'm upset about the market running. As we expected, Tesla is up big today. Tesla at 282s. I didn't even stay up. I woke up. I didn't even stay up to really watch who won. It was too late, honestly. I go to bed. I'm like a grandpa over here. I go to bed early. But market's pumping up this morning. NASDAQ is up big. The SPY itself is up to like 590s, maybe over that already now. Let me see. Yeah, 590. Tesla up to 280s, hit 290 roughly, 289.99. So basically 290 this morning. The E-mini up to almost 6,000. And overall markets are just up pretty big this morning. We'll get some music playing here. Trying to find some music. Yeah, SPY. Is it the SPY at all-time highs? Let me see. Where's the all-time highs on the SPY? SPY all-time highs 586, so the SPY is at all-time highs. I guess my thumbnail makes more sense now. So he already did the acceptance speech, Sam. So when I first woke up, so my wife and I were watching what was going down. When I first woke up this morning, it was like 2 a.m. When I woke up at like 2 a.m., he was on TV doing his speech. So I'm pretty sure he's already done the speech. I'm not 100% sure though. Again, I haven't been following it that close, but I've been following it somewhat. Let me know if the music is too loud. Now the next thing is tomorrow's Fed meeting is massive, massively important. Tomorrow's Fed meeting is big. Yeah, and markets are breaking all-time highs. I don't know what I want to do here for trading. Hey, what's up, Beach? Is it too loud? Is the music too loud? It feels kind of loud on my end, but it's hard for me to tell. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, politics is like a pendulum. I'm pretty political. Okay, so I'm socially left-leaning, except for a couple things, right? There's a couple things that I'm not like left-leaning socially on. I'm not going to be too specific about them either, but there's a few things that I'm not, but I'm mostly socially left, right? Fiscally, I'm a capitalist in nature, and so I'm very middle ground neutral, but and so you might say, oh, well, John, you're a libertarian. Not really. I disagree with them some too. So I'm just kind of neutral, really, like genuinely neutral. But I'm not upset with the market running up. At least we're not going to have unrealized tax gains or unrealized taxes on gains now, or taxes on unrealized gains. So at least I'm an optimist. I'll celebrate that because I think that was just, that should have never happened, and it would kind of ruin stock trading overall. But is the music good? Okay, good. Let's do a poll. I'm going to do a poll. Are you happy or sad about the election? I'm just curious. I'm going to put a happy, sad, neutral. Maybe I should even ask this, but I'm curious. He will increase taxes to give away. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what, I don't know. It really depends. Okay. It's really hard for me not to be political today. I'm not rooting for either side, of course. He did some things right and some things wrong during his last term. He did some things right, as do most presidents. And again, I was talking to Pawn about it. It's a pendulum, right? It's a pendulum. So generally, the way economics move, or the way the political spectrum moves, is that one side gets power, brings policy to their end of the spectrum, right? Over time, the more they push it to their side, the more support the other side gets. Before you know it, where it eventually makes a tipping point to where the other side, outside of power, ends up gaining more public support, And then the next election happens, and usually they elect their side now. And then the same thing happens again, where the pendulum swings to the other side. They bring policy to their side. Their side, as they push further and further to their side gets less support, and the other side gets more support. And then another election happens, and it swings back to the other side. That's pretty standard. Like it's pretty predictable, really. And that's one of the things that we're seeing now is like the pendulum's just kind of swinging to the other side, which is normal. It's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, this is all relevant to the market. With that said, the NASDAQ is up to 700s, almost 669s right now, 20.669s. NVIDIA's up. NVIDIA's mostly flat, slightly green. Tesla up big. Tesla at 280s. The SPY is at all-time highs. If the SPY opens up right here, it'll be at all-time highs. And again, just to clarify, I'm not happy or necessarily sad either side gets elected. Right? Like, I'm pretty neutral generally. Like, genuinely as a person, I'm pretty neutral. And I just dislike the whole realm of politics. To be honest, I'm celebrating this morning because it's over. I'm just ready for this circus to end. It's like a national soap opera. I'm just ready to, I'm just ready for it to end. And again, I think the side that lost made a couple mistakes prior to this, which caused them to lose. And again, in general, this might just be, I don't know. Yeah, Bitcoin up to almost 75K. The crypto market should be celebrating really here because Bitcoin, this was the catalyst that made Bitcoin broke lifetime highs at 76,000 for futures. Let me see Bitcoin price here this morning. Bitcoin USD. Yeah, Bitcoin got up to, look at this. Bitcoin got up to 75.4s. What's the all-time highs for Bitcoin? I always forget it. Let's put a weekly chart up to see. Okay, so all-time highs. Not quite hitting all-time highs. Or wait, did it? 75.425. When did it hit this high? Yeah, so Bitcoin hitting all-time highs this morning. Yeah, so Bitcoin hit all-time highs this morning. Yeah, Bitcoin got up to its new all-time high, which is now 75,500. It hit that early this morning at about 620s. Always got to fix this time. I'm in Chicago time here. Yeah, so Bitcoin hit all-time highs at like midnight last night. Right when it was, I'm sure right when it was announced. Oh, 100%, right. Like, politics today is what the market's about. Again, I'm going to keep it pretty neutral, but still. Yeah, it's the season finale. It's over. I'm ready. I'm excited. Yeah. Sure, most of you are happy. It just shows how heartless you are towards people that don't have your income level. I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Honestly, like, I'm pretty neutral politically. I think that I'm just excited for it to be over. It's not like I'm celebrating anybody, Housing prices will be going down today. I don't know. I think it's going to all take time. We'll see. It depends, man. Again, a lot of it depends. Yeah, for sure, Nick. I get it, man. Okay, here's the thing, though, right? Bringing inflation down is not as easy as people think, right? In order to bring inflation down, you have to discourage the U.S. economy, is what bringing inflation down means. So to bring inflation down, you have to discourage the U.S. economy. And you better believe if anybody comes out here discouraging the U.S. economy through high interest rates, people are going to be upset and they're going to complain about it, regardless of who does it. And so that's the real way you bring inflation down. I mean, you can't do QE, and we're in the middle we're still doing QT, which is a tightening cycle, which means that we're like reducing the Fed's balance sheet right now. So it's not something in which it's not like a president can come out here and be like, "Yo, interest rates are going down." Or no, I'm sorry. It's not like a president can come out here and be like, "Yo, I'm going to make inflation go down. The only way you make inflation go down is by pushing the U.S. economy down. That's the only real way we can control it. We can raise interest rates, discourage spending. What does that do? That pushes the U.S. economy down. We can do quantitative tightening, which we're already doing. What does that do? Pushes the economy down. So, I mean, it's not that easy to bring inflation down. We could try to slow it, and that's great, but is that easy? No. Yeah, inflation's why most people are unhappy, modern day. And it's a much trickier thing than a lot of people realize, right? The thing that really caused this inflation is like a really unique circumstance in 2020, right? That I wouldn't really blame on anybody, especially not a U.S. politician, right? Everybody likes to like pick at them and everything like that, regardless of the side. But what happened in 2020 was just different. It was just different. It caused supply chain disruptions. It caused a lack of working, like a super high unemployment rate, which again, you can't really blame on anybody. And I think the consequence of all that stuff was inflation, right? Supply chains breaking down, inflation spikes. Less people working means more government stimulus with quantitative easing and money printing and stimulus checks. And what's the consequence of those things? Inflation, right? And so it's not as easy to just be like, hey, inflation's bad, I'm going to bring it down. It's not that easy. To bring it down, you got to push the U.S. economy down. You got to raise interest rates, and you better believe if we start raising rates, people are going to be upset. They're not going to be happy. They don't want higher interest rates. They're going to push for lower interest rates right now. They want a thriving economy. And what's the consequence of a thriving economy? Inflation is. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you can either have a thriving economy with some inflation, or you can have a weak economy with low inflation, but you're not going to get both simultaneously. Usually you're not going to get both. It's not impossible though, so we'll see. We're going to trade. It's pretty early right now, but we're going to be trading. We're just kind of right around highs, and it's just not really my style for attacking this. So, right around highs, even he's breaking highs. I didn't vote, Daniel. I'm just not And I hope you guys understand, like, regardless of who you like or dislike or anything like that, I'm very politically neutral. Like, it's all love here, regardless of who you voted for. Again, I'm just very politically neutral. I'm not going to get all ingrained in that and make that my identity. I'm just neutral, guys. And so regardless of who you like, dislike, voted for, didn't vote for, it's all love. You didn't vote? Nope. I mean, I live in Texas, and so even if I did vote, it wouldn't do anything either way, right? Yeah, I'm happy with the market going up. Market's going up, that's good. Really? That's crazy, Daniel. Is that true? You have to vote every time, or you lose the privilege too? Daniel, that's interesting. I've never heard that. I have to look that up. Bitcoin, again, at all-time highs. NASDAQ testing all-time highs right now. Again, we're a little bit too high up there for me to want to buy this, but we're a little bit too close to all-time highs for me to... Or we're a little bit too momentum heavy right now for me to want to short it. I'm just waiting here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really talking negative. I think it might be a negative. I don't really think I'm being super negative. Like, me talking about the paths to lower inflation is not being negative. It's just talking about, like, economics, Again, I'm happy markets are breaking highs, I'm happy I'm not going to get taxed on unrealized gains, because I think that would break markets. But that's about, like, But I'm also unhappy about certain things as well. Like I said, I'm pretty neutral. Oh yeah, the market definitely thinks he's gonna do better. I mean, it's It's the business side of of politics, you know. You are a nice guy, very straightforward. We try over here. You can't please everybody. It's the internet, though. Yeah, tomorrow's rate decision is going to be more interesting than all this stuff. Um, yeah. Tomorrow's rate decision is right on the heels of all this stuff. It should be fun. We'll see. All right, so NASDAQ, again, pump it up. Tesla up big. Bitcoin up to almost all-time highs. Yeah, not voting is okay. Stop saying you're neutral to please everybody. No, I'm certainly not rooting for either side, Philly. You know, I just, again, I'm in Texas. Again, me voting on either side in Texas is insignificant in the grand scheme of things because of the electoral college structure. Right, it wouldn't either. Regardless of who I was voting for, it wouldn't mean anything if I voted here. You know, now maybe it's a symbolic thing, and I guess that's what people are going for. But no, I'm just talking. I'm here for markets, and markets are up. Markets are up. NASDAQ is up. SPY is at all-time highs. Bitcoin at all-time highs. E-mini at all-time highs. Yeah, vote for Pedro. I agree. Biggie, 100%. Yeah, if I lived in like Michigan or Pennsylvania or Virginia or Wisconsin, then it would be a little bit more like important for me to vote either way, regardless of which side, right? In one of some of the swing states, but you know. John, so you are saying we are not paying taxes on stock gains? No, that's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that one thing that I disagreed with on Harris's side is that she was talking about taxing people on unrealized gains, which doesn't make any sense, right? Taxing people on unrealized gains would have been crazy. It just wouldn't have made any sense. Now, maybe they were taking it out of context, but I think it scared a lot of people in finance because, you know, what happens is like if you start taxing unrealized gains, you have to let people write off unrealized losses to a certain extent in terms of balance as well, right? And if you let some of these big banks and hedge funds and big money start writing off unrealized losses, they are going to maneuver it to where they're going to write off tons. Like you're going to lose tons of tax income. They're going to pay less taxes, not more. And so it's just, that's that area where I think she, you know, again, I'm neutral, but I think she probably should have just never said anything about that. That was just a bad idea overall. I think it turned a lot of finance against her. There's a lot of things that I think either side could have done better or worse, you know. Yeah, I kind of agree with James. I didn't vote either. Wouldn't make a difference where I am, and both candidates are lame. Yeah. How do you feel about tariffs? I think too much tariffs can hurt us, for sure. And so I think if we put too many tariffs on imports, then it's going to hurt us more than anything. And so I'm okay with some, but they need to be calculated, smart, and not overly aggressive. You know. Yeah, I mean, I go by policies mostly, guys. You know. And I don't even know what I would call myself. I'm somewhere in the middle between everything. Do you give Stipe a chance against John Jones next weekend? That's the big battle everybody. No. Stipe is not going to be able to touch Jones. I think it's ridiculous that they're fighting in general, and I think it honestly hurts Jones's legacy, right? I think the problem is that Jones wants a gimme fight, but it's too transparent. Everybody sees it's a gimme fight, right? Stipe's old, he's on 2-fight losing streak. You know what I mean? He hadn't fought in like 4 years, right? He's in his 40s, his chin is gone, his speed is gone. Jones is a A1 wrestler. He's just gonna freaking take Stipe down and tap him out in about 30 seconds, and then he's gonna act like it's great. I'm okay with but with all that said and out the way, I'm okay with giving Jones. Like, Jones is probably the greatest of all time in the UFC right now. He just is, right? People can argue different things. Record-wise, Jones is the GOAT. He's fought the highest competition, and he's beat them. And so I'm okay with, like, letting him kind of choose his exit fight in a little bit easier fight. I don't think it matters that much. And I think, I think he'll probably go down as the greatest, at least the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Definitely the greatest light heavyweight, but also probably one of the greatest fighters of all time. So I don't think we can knock him too much for wanting kind of an easy. He's old. He's ready to retire. He wants to give one last fight for a retirement fight. And yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's the national soap opera, Lissandro. Yeah, I mean, Kondo, I would just recommend you just be a little bit less emotional, brother. You shouldn't be so wrapped up in the political soap opera that you, like, genuinely, like, get disrespectful or call people names because they don't vote how you want them to vote, or they don't vote at all. Again, I'm in Texas, right? The Electoral College makes it so that even if I did, it wouldn't do anything, right? There's no purpose in it. My knee hurts. I hurt my knee in jiu-jitsu. Like, I can't even walk right, I don't feel like going up there and voting for nothing, right? I guess it's symbolic. Everybody wants to say they did their part or whatever, but, you'll be okay. Be less emotional, sir. All right, guys. So the mortgage rates, again, as you guys can see here, mortgage rates actually came in higher than expected. We had a couple people asking, why did mortgage rates go up after the Fed cut rates in September? And it's an interesting thing. So mortgages, it's going to take a lag. There's a lagging effect here. So it's going to take some time between rate cuts by the Federal Reserve and them having any type of significant influence on interest rates long term, like mortgages and auto loans, right? There's a 3 to 6 month lag minimum. And so the Fed cutting rates in September is not going to change this mortgage rate here, not for at least a few months. And so there's a lagging effect. The Federal Reserve cuts. What happens is that the Federal Reserve changes short-term interest rates. They change short-term rates. Eventually, it trickles into long-term rates, but there's a lag. It takes 3 to 6 months. Yeah, I mean, regardless of whether each state is important, I think it's important to just look. You don't want to be toxically political, where you're getting mad at people for how they do things. Like, respect, everybody has their own opinion. It's all love. Again, that's getting too emotional about everything. Hey, thank you for the gifted one. Beginner trading membership. Hey, thanks so much. Jones is definitely one of, if not the greatest. St. Pierre Silva. Habib. Got a few title defenses. Yeah, Khabib didn't have enough title defenses, but I thought he was the most dominant, to be honest. St. Pierre was good, but he lost to Matt Serra. Got KO'd by Matt Serra. So, I mean, I think that kind of takes him away from the greatest argument. Silva's the same way. He was good, but he got knocked out by Chris Weidman. Just not the same. Pawn, congrats. You got a gifted membership. Hey, that's good. All right, guys, NASDAQ's up to 20.7. Look at this. Again, should I short the top here or should I wait? Bitcoin, again, at all-time highs. Pawn, stop stealing the gifts, brother. I see you over there. You're stealing those gifts, man. I understand what tariffs are for, right? Like, that's what a tariff does. It makes it more expensive for them, right? But they're going to react and there's going to be consequences, like, especially regarding big countries overseas. Like, they're going to stop shipping as much stuff here. But again, they need us too, so it's nuanced. Yeah, I don't know. How are cannabis stocks reacting to all this? Tilray's down today. ACB, it's down a little bit too. So most of these are down. They're actually having some movement at pre-market, which is rare. Yeah, I mean, Finch, that was actually just a rumor, brother. If you look that up, the girl that did that was a female. That was a girl that did it, Finch. That was just a rumor. Look it up. Yeah, and again, as I run the stream, I'm pretty politically neutral. I'm not against you, either side, right? I'm not against you. I'm not really for you either. I'm just kind of out here, you know. I'll be a little bit looser on the ban, on banning people today. I'm kind of talking to Pawn about it, but just be respectful. You can agree, disagree. Don't call people names. Don't be insulting. Just be respectful, and it's all good here, right? Spy at 590s. Hey, there you go, Ty. You got a gifted membership from Pawn. Yeah, no, that's true, Finch. If you look that up, that's the truth. Again, I remember when that came out and everybody was upset about it, and then it turned out that was just kind of like a rumor. I think what it was is that she had some condition in which her body produced more testosterone, but she was a female, you know, is what I think it, if I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but I'm not 100% sure. You'd have to go check. I don't know. I hate the word ick. Like, you hear these YouTube videos, oh, the biggest ick. I hate the word ick. It's a cringy word to me. All right, so look, we got this high level here. The question is, do we break this high? Right? Do we break this high? We got this high level. Everybody sees it. We've been pushing that level for a minute now. A lot of stuff's up. Bitcoin is up. Tesla's up. The SPY is up to all-time highs. Apple. I mean, Apple's even somewhat green. Amazon, flat. Meta, down. Google, very green. Google's very green today. It's up a huge amount. Is ick your form of moist? Yes. I hate the freaking word, man. And all the young people use it like, oh, the biggest icks at the gym, bro. It's like, be quiet, dude. Stop saying that word. Like, just say, this bothers me, you know? I get it. I feel like anytime I criticize young people's slang, I feel like I have like a freaking lawn chair and I'm yelling at people to get off my lawn. I'm just old. I get it. Listen, I used slang when I was young. I still use slang, but yeah, NASDAQ up to 674s on the NASDAQ, hitting those highs. We'll see if it holds. What's your favorite modern day slang word? I wouldn't say I have a favorite. The one my daughter and I make fun of people with is bussin'. You know, bussin' is a little bit You know, like that. This coffee is bussin', guys. Bussin' coffee. The older you get, the worse it gets, 100%. Irregardless. Yeah, I hate the word irregardless, too, because irregardless is not a word. And the problem I have with it is that people who say irregardless think it's a word, and they use it to try to sound smart, but it's actually not a word, and it was only added to the dictionary because people used it incorrectly so much. You know? And so it's like they use it because it sounds like a big word and sounds smart, but it's not an actual word, and people use it anyway. Like... The real word is just regardless. Like, I would love to eat cake every day, regardless of the health risks of eating chocolate cake every day, right? Like, it wouldn't be irregardless. You know, just I just dislike the word. I'm sorry. Yeah, bussin's a fun word. Yeah, Chuck. That one's actually be added. That one's actually starting to be added to everybody's slang. All right. I don't know if I should short this or if I should see if we break highs again. If I short this, I'm going to feel dumb for shorting it, but this is a challenge account, so let's go ahead and play with it today. The challenge account, we're playing with this today. I'm going to short at these highs. We're going to specifically add all the way up to this. And if it doesn't work, we're just going to write it down. Let's see if we get it. No, the inflation was not caused by... I mean, most of the inflation is reflected in gas, Jeff. But the problem is not, like... Most of like, the core inflation measure excludes food and energy because they're historically the most volatile. Short term. Long term, they're you know, they're pretty normal. But short term, they're kind of volatile. All right, we're going to short to this. But the real reason inflation happened is mostly like supply chain breakdowns during 2020. All right, again, we're going to add to this. Add to this. Supply chain breakdowns in 2020. Right? As well as, so we had supply chain breakdowns. We also had quantitative easing. We had stimulus checks. Right? All of those things in one period of time made it so that prices spiked pretty quick. Right? So prices ended up spiking up pretty quick from all that stuff. And that's ultimately what got a lot of people, right? And that's why people are still unhappy today, is because prices for food and prices for everything essentially spiked up in a couple years period in a trend that we would normally see over like a 5 to 10 year period. It spiked up in like 3 or 4 years, like a crazy amount. And so that's the real reason most people are unhappy. It's just the inflation spikes that we got post 2020. Alright. I know this is a risky bet, but we're going to play with it. Yeah, I know, that's the first thing I thought of too. My name is Jeff. Palantir. Where's Palantir at? Palantir up to 53s, man. That's doing good too. Alright. I'm going to take a piece of this off, actually, just to, like, protect the trade, I guess. A little bit more there, too. I don't want to take too much size, and then I can maybe add to it here. Yeah, Palantir's flying up. FOMC is tomorrow. So the FOMC is tomorrow afternoon. We're going to stream it, of course, like we always do. Yeah, it's probably kind of a risky trade, but it's a challenge account, so we're going to play with this. Alright. That'll be the last time we add to it. If we lose it, it's okay, guys. Like I said, if we lose this, it's alright. We're going to trade on our actual funded account later. I know, I should be buying right now, but we're just too close to highs for me to buy. I should just ride with the momentum. But We're just too close to highs. I think we've gone up a lot. I think long term we might continue to go up, but short term I think we might correct. And I might be wrong. Don't copy me. This is obviously just a gamble. There's a ton of volatility today. We're just playing around with a challenge account. There we go. There we go. All right. We caught that somehow. Boom. All right, so we got a pretty nice little trade there. I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest there. So we ended up making some money somehow here. Somehow we ended up making money. We might add to it on the big short back up. I mean, the thing about it, though, is like everybody's greedy, right? Like, people, it's human nature to be. You just have to reel it in. You have to be disciplined. You can't let it get too out there. Everybody wants themselves to do well. Generally, everybody wants themselves to do well. There's always outliers for everything, but what? She's doing it every day. I don't know what to do with her. Here, we'll have to figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright, guys. Alright, we're shortly green here. We're small green. Alright, now we're up 50, 45, 60, 70. We'll go ahead and cut that. Wait. Did it give us $10? No. Did it really just give us $10 profit on that trade? It couldn't have. Did it? What? That's crazy, dude. It gave me $10 profit. It says I was up 80. And then we were right. Look at that breakdown here, man. Ugh. Gives me the ick, guys. You know. Now we're gonna take 3 here, so we get a breakdown. What the heck is going on, bro? I lost $40 there? Okay, maybe it's just retracing so quickly here. But, like, I don't know. Maybe we're just volatile. It's like, hey, John, you're up $130. Let me take half of this off. Nope, just kidding. You lost 40 instead. I guess I just got to wait more. Look, $195. Okay, thank you. That one, it actually gave me the right profit here. I'm gonna add to this. There we go. Profit. Okay. Fills are not good this morning for whatever reason. I mean, we're up today. We're green. That's all I can really hope for. I gotta take longer term positions here, so I am going to short this. And then I'm going to sit on this, right? I'm going to try to play the trend. If we get down here, I'm going to sell, right? So if we get down here, I'm going to sell. The goal is to hit this level here. So here's my risk. Or here's my reward target right here. Right, there's my reward. My risk is about up here. So it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, give or take, you know. Maybe a little bit worse. I could also add to it, but I'm just going to try to relax and make my money. I'm green on the day. That's all I can really hope for. I got a cushion. I can play with the cushion now. No, so Matt, today's Wednesday, bro. Today's Wednesday. Jobless claims are tomorrow. Not today. Yeah, that's what it is, Dennis. Yeah, Matt, you got the days mixed up, bro. Tomorrow is Thursday, not today. Kind sir. All right, Palantir running up. NASDAQ running up. And trading list your good and bad habits. Selectivity is my bad habit. Good habit. Typically risk management is good. But yeah, I'm gonna make my risk level right here. Chat. Nah, it's probably a little bit too much. We'll put it over here. If it breaks over that level or even gets close to it, we'll cut it. We already got a cushion on the day, which is good. Very close to cutting. I think we're just going to get out there. So we ended up losing. We're kind of flat. I mean, we're down a little bit. But you don't love to see it. And again, part of me is just going to stop trading. We just don't have any big edge this morning. Everything's kind of boring. I mean, we got a big edge, but it's kind of boring. How do I put that on the chart, Pawn? The heat map. I gotta figure out how to add that to the chart. I see. Yeah, boredom is a big thing, especially when you're running a live stream like this, though. Like, when I'm running a live stream like this, boredom is a much bigger factor. Because if I don't trade, people are going to be like, bro, you're not trading enough, dude. I thought this was a trading stream. And then if I do trade and lose, then they're going to be like, oh, this dude sucks, you know? And so you can't really, either way, you're going to get whiners. You know, thus is life, I guess. Okay, you get banned. You get banned. You get banned. Stop spamming these terrible, horrible penny stocks. Everybody short LPCH or whatever it is. Don't short it. Fed speaking tomorrow. Guys, the Fed speaking tomorrow. All right, guys. Sorry, my family's here saying goodbye to me. Do people think spamming penny stocks will work? I don't know, man. The ones they're spamming, I don't even want to talk about the ones they're spamming because it's just too difficult to like see if it would be good or bad. And sometimes they sometimes they're low float enough to influence, but other times whoever's spending money on the bots is just kind of dumb. And so it's individual. It depends on the individual company. Yeah, well, so the market's already pumped up a lot. SPY's already at all-time highs now. So like what we're currently seeing in markets, guys, is like, okay, so the SPY is already pumped up towards all-time highs. Right, here's the NASDAQ. It's up towards all-time highs level. And now it's been in this kind of sideways, choppy range most of the morning. For the last like 2-3 hours, we've been in this sideways, choppy range. It's a big increase on the presidential election and then big sideways chop for the last 3 hours or so. I would guess the momentum's on the upside, but I also think that things could turn the other way too. But I would say there's probably more momentum on the upside now. And so really we're sideways, neutral. If we start breaking this high, maybe it means something, but for now we're just kind of choppy, sideways, and neutral. Is gold taking a hit? Well, that's because people are more optimistic regarding the economy, most likely. And so gold is going down on that increased optimism. Again, SPY's sitting right around all-time highs. NASDAQ is as well. Dow. Is the Dow doing that as well? What's the Dow doing? I haven't really looked at the Dow. The Dow is... Yeah, the Dow's pumping up also. Here, look at the Dow. So this is the Dow this morning. It's up big. Looks good. Looks strong. And again, guys, so looking at global markets, the biggest gainers and losers today in stocks. So let's talk about the biggest gainers and losers in stocks. So the biggest gainers today really are most of blue chips. Most blue chip stocks are up, right? We got Tesla, 280s. You can see Tesla up here. Tesla's pumping up big. We got Bitcoin sitting at 73s right now. It's kind of pulled back a little bit, but it's moving very similar to US stocks and markets. We also have, if you like penny stocks, we've got like, most blue chips are up, right? We got DATS gapping up a little bit. Hello? Oh no. Alright. Let me go. Alright, love you, bye. Alright, I gotta go. I'll be right back. It's trash day, guys. Y'all should have reminded me. All right, we're back, guys. It's trash day. All right, we're back. Yeah, so DAC, the other big movers today are DATS in penny stocks, AREB, gap it up, DJT, which is a political stock, PHUN, which I didn't even know this thing was still around, Geo, and a couple other ones. The biggest moving companies today are Tesla is moving pretty big. Tesla at 282s, gap it up on his political support for the winter. Nvidia is up about 1% today, give or take, about 1% increase. NIO is down 4.5%. NIO is an overseas China-based EV company, so NIO is down about 4.5% this morning. TMCI is moving a little bit this morning, but not gapping up too much. Supermicro Semiconductors had earnings yesterday. And so Supermicro Semiconductors had earnings yesterday. They are down to 2240s, 2250s. So yeah, Supermicro Semiconductors is down in their earnings push. What did they show up for earnings for Supermicro? So Supermicro Semiconductors ended up showing up. They dropped 23%. Their CEO says they don't expect negative allocation from NVIDIA. They said they have an open mind about separating CEO and chairman roles. They are going to strengthen government's oversights and amid filing disputes. They ended up posting adjusted EPS of 75 cents, 76 cents. So Supermicro did have bad earnings reaction here from all their stuff. It's down pretty big. We also had Intel, which is up 5% this morning. So Intel gap it up a little bit on everything as well. Funware, PHUN is gap it up a little bit this morning with everything. It's up. Plug Power is down 15% this morning. Look at Plug. Plug is down 15% to 213s. AREB penny stock is up to 5%. So AREB penny stock is up about 5%, or I'm sorry, it's up 72% this morning. So those are the moves right now in stocks, right? In index funds this morning. So in indexes this morning, again, the Dow ripping up, currently sitting at about 43,500. The NASDAQ here pushing up, getting ready to test the highs of the day, and the NASDAQ's up big. Right, most index funds, equities index funds are up massively. They're up to, the Dow is up to huge levels. The NASDAQ is up to 732s. The E-mini, if we take a look at it, is up to almost 6,000. The SPY itself, if we're looking at ETFs, is at lifetime highs. You know, the previous lifetime high for the SPY, if we pull up the SPY here, the previous lifetime high on the SPY was 586.12s. We're at 590s basically. So the previous lifetime high was right here roughly. I'm gonna call it right there. So this was the previous lifetime high. We're now well over that. And if we open up anywhere around where we are now, we will be breaking all-time highs on the SPY when we open up today around the opening bell in an hour, if we can. On the NASDAQ, the previous all-time highs were, you know, let's see. So 503. The NASDAQ's at 500. So the NASDAQ is around all-time highs. If we look at the QQQ, or if we look at the actual NASDAQ here, the NQ, if we look at a long-term chart, the all-time highs on the NQ are right around 1,200. Right around 1,200, 21,200 is where the new all-time highs are. And currently we are at about, we're about $600-700 away from that level, but we are pushing up on the NASDAQ here as well. So it's possible we can break those levels. We'll have to wait and see. We've got the short-term range in the NASDAQ where we're sitting pretty sideways, neutral over the past few hours since 6 a.m. You know, we're really since this morning started here. Since midnight, we're up a decent amount though. Gold, yeah, let's take a look at gold. So with gold, chat, here's gold. Gold, on the other hand, and you know, most of the market is celebrating and is more optimistic regarding the economy just based off of these levels today, except for gold. You know, gold, on the other hand, is looking rough. You know, gold on the other hand is looking rough. Gold is breaking down this morning. So gold is having a very weak reaction to everything going on. I guess more confidence in the economy means more pessimism in gold. Let's see if we can find some updates on this. Yeah, so the US dollar is surging up. So if we take a look at the dollar index here, you know, the Dixie is surging up this morning, and gold is falling down on that. Usually gold and the dollar are inverse related. People buy gold if they're skeptical regarding the dollar, and if people are optimistic regarding the dollar, gold goes down, right? So here's the dollar going up this morning, to put a big chart up here, and then if you look at the left side, you can see gold really dumping down to under 2700s this morning. So gold's very weak this morning, very weak. We'll see if it continues, but yeah, very weak. Oil, let's take a look at oil. So here's crude. Crude is down as well today. So crude oil is down as well today. It's down to $70 roughly, right around $70 where it's sitting now. Again, Tesla doing very well this morning, up big. And what's your favorite trade idea today? Give me your trade ideas in chat. Let's talk about it. What is your plan for the rest of the day in terms of day trading? What kind of strategies are you planning on using? You know, what kind of long-term investing strategies are you going to plan on using? Let me know some of your strategies in chat. Let's talk about it. Let's review them. Is Neo coming out with earnings today? Let's take a look. So I know we have some earnings this morning too, but nothing, you know. We had CVS this morning. CVS beat EPS, beat revenue. We had Celsius miss EPS, miss revenue. NVO, Novo, Nordisk miss EPS, miss revenue. Toyota came out, missed EPS, missed revenue. ACB Cannabis beat EPS, beat revenue. Teva, TEVA, beat EPS, beat revenue. Weight Watchers, beat EPS, beat revenue. A couple other ones, but nothing big. The big one, we also have AMC earnings this afternoon. So this afternoon, we do have AMC earnings coming out after the closing bell. And yeah, we'll cover them. We'll see what we get on that. How's AMC and GameStop reacting to everything here? Yeah, how's AMC GameStop reacting? AMC is up. GameStop is up. So AMC and GameStop are both up this morning. Interesting. So oil's down. Anything else commodity-wise that you guys want to talk about? So again, gold is up. If not, we're just going to keep watching the NASDAQ here this morning. But NASDAQ tested the top of that range. Look at it push right at the top. Scalping day. Let's take a look at some of the people's strategies. My strategy was go long Bitcoin and go to sleep. GameStop forever. Gold can fluctuate. Top step is cheaper. I'm hoping for a long Christmas rally. Day trade the S&P using strategy, going bull on any pullback. Gold down $100 from recent all-time highs. Calls that a tiny pullback. Called that a tiny pullback. Yeah, I mean, it's small. Feels like I'm going to be waiting for pullbacks in the pullback type of day today. I think a lot of people are going to take that same strategy. They're going to go long based off of the market strength that we got early this morning, and they're just looking to buy dips. And if a lot of people are targeting it, it might actually work better, because people are going to be buying up those pullbacks. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. Plan is to stare at market and be scared of it all day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that. Whose girl lost? Don't FOMO into breakouts as well. Yeah, I mean, we got to pull back to this small level here after testing these highs. I think we got a short-term range on the upside, but long-term, who freaking knows, man? I think we could get a rally at the opening bell. We could get a pullback. Gold is down because the dollar's strong today. Toll. So gold is down on the Dixie strength. The Dixie's up big. If you look at the dollar on the right side, it's up big today. Gold is moving inversely to it, which is not a shock. That's kind of standard. Yeah, so not a shock. Kind of standard. Yeah, so again, commodity prices are down today too. So looking at commodities this morning. Commodities, oil, gas, metals, grains all dropped this morning. The dollar rallied after the presidential election. You know, I think one of the things that the election stoked is potential concerns about tariffs. You know, and whether we're going to get economic growth. Oil prices are down 1% or more. On the Dixie rally. The Dixie's up to 105.20s. Basically, investors are thinking that the new presidency will bolster the dollar. Interest rates may need to remain high to combat inflation that would stem from new tariffs, is the logic I think a lot of people are having. Precious metals also fell. Gold is the biggest one that people are focusing on. Again, if you look at gold here, gold is down majorly, and it continues to break lows today. Guys, look at gold. This is a 1-minute chart, but if we put a 5-minute chart even, you can kind of see how weak gold is this morning. Gold down. Again, here's a dollar index. I'll put a 5-minute chart on the Dixie here. I'll put a 5-minute chart on both of these. But yeah, look at the Dixie today. Up big. You know, on that, gold is falling. That Ole Hansen, which is the head of commodity strategy at Saxo Bank, said, quote, Gold will be torn between the risk of rising inflation, potentially slowing the pace of U.S. rate cuts as tariffs are rolled out, and continued demand for safe haven assets. He said this scenario is expected to bring about the promised tariffs on imported goods, particularly targeting China, potentially triggering a new wave of trade tension. And so that's one of the reasons they think gold is down. They think he's going to ultimately be more aggressive in terms of measures against China, and so steel prices will undertake more downward pressure potentially, and domestic steelmakers may face even more severe losses, according to some people. Again, I'm not saying I agree with this. We're reading some of this news here on gold and precious metals, commodities. Looking at overseas markets. Again, gold pressured by a strong dollar. The dollar climbing to a near 4-month high. You know, again, the right, or the Republicans also won majority in the Senate as well. So again, a stronger dollar makes dollar-denominated commodities such as gold more expensive for holders of other currencies. Other precious metals, again, broadly negative. Platinum futures down 2.2% to $984.35 an ounce, roughly. Silver futures down 3%. Yes, gold's still close to all-time highs, though, and it could reach $3,400 an ounce if real interest rates drop to zero, said an analyst at Bernstein. He said, quote, gold has an established negative relationship with the U.S. dollar and real rates, as gold typically gains value when the fiat currency, such as the dollar, loses strength, is what he said. And so again, look at gold just fall. Gold looking weak. Yeah, where's Coinbase at? I'm sure Coinbase is benefiting from all this stuff too. Coinbase up to 220s. Looks strong. John, if you have a minute, would you look at Mara history and revenue trend? Yeah, so here's Mara. There's the dollar. Again, the dollar is what's causing all this strength in commodities, or all this weakness in metals and commodities. You should look at Mara. Mara up, probably on Bitcoin strength. Looking at the history of it, though, you know, let's put a 4-hour chart up. for Mara. It's been pretty neutral and flat, but at the same time, crypto has in general, right? Like Bitcoin's been pretty flat, been pretty neutral, hasn't really done much. And so Bitcoin's been very flat for the last really the last year straight. If we look at it, so I'm not surprised to see this too flat, although it's not really pumping up, I guess. If we look at Mara's EPS graph, right? Let me figure out the right chart to use. Alright, so here is their revenue graph is what we'll pull up, and this is from Macro Trends. You know, they've been pretty profitable since 2020. Their revenue is looking strong as well. When did their earnings come out for Mara? I mean, their revenue looks good. I'm not saying you should buy it, but it looks better than some of the other stuff I've seen this earnings season. When did Mara come out, though? Anytime recently? No, I don't see any. Alright, so Mara releases earnings. Digital. Yeah, so Mara releases earnings in a week from now on November 12th. So Mara releases their earnings next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. What do you think about the rate cuts? Well, rates are still pretty probable that we're going to cut 25 basis points. Their revenue's been good for Mara. Yeah, I mean, if you're mad at me for saying Mara is flat, I mean, it all depends on time frame, of course. But if you look at this year, we're right around where we opened the year at. We opened the year right around here. You know? I mean, we made big swings up and down, like big swings up, big swings down, big swings up, big swings down, you know? Blah, 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 blah. But we're ended up right around where we started back here, you know? If I'm wrong, let me know. But, yeah. If I'm wrong, let me know. Gold, again, falling down weak. Again, Tesla up big on this news. Overnight news. Got some other stuff up big too. Nvidia, another one I want to look at here. There's Nvidia at 141.30s. So Nvidia is still up. Nvidia is right around lifetime highs too. Lifetime highs are right around 145. So Nvidia is still close to it. It's not up. It's not up as much as some other stuff today, but it's up enough. Yeah, good place. Hey, nice Connor. Yeah, so look at our rate expectations here, guys. So look at our rate expectations. Right, it's still overwhelmingly probable that we're going to cut rates 25 basis points. You know, so it's overwhelmingly positive that we're going to cut rates 25 basis points from 475 to 500 down to 450 to 475, right? There's a 2.6% chance of a pause on Thursday. But again, I'm telling you now, unless we see some big changes, we don't really have any economic data coming out except for jobless claims tomorrow morning, which is not going to influence the Fed's rate decision tomorrow. And so as of now, we are almost certain to cut rates 25 basis points tomorrow on Thursday. So as of now, we are almost certain to cut rates 25 basis points as of Thursday. Do you guys think we will? How much do you guys think we're going to cut rates if we're going to cut rates next week or on Thursday? Again, overwhelmingly probable that we're going to cut rates 25 basis points. We'll see. We'll see. Again, NASDAQ still consolidating up and down. That range top I drew held pretty steady here. I got to maybe fix the angle some. There we go. Wait, let me. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, so this angle range, look at the top of the range. We drew it and we followed it to a T. Hey, nice. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at some big support and resistance levels on the NASDAQ here. Guys, I need a horizontal range year, and that's my big problem. All right, so we're gonna take a look, right? I think the biggest one, and the one that really was confirmed recently, is this. So that's one big support and resistance level. Really, it's within a range up here. So between like 720 and 730, we got a range of support and resistance. In terms of lows, I think we have to look at the most obvious lows, right? And so I think the most obvious lows are gonna fall here. I think the most obvious lows are gonna fall here, right around this low right here. I think we could look at another one right here. So right here at 600, right here at 450, 460s. I think we could probably call this 450. And yeah, that's the biggest range support and resistance levels that I see. I think we got another one at 335, but here's my chart in terms of support and resistance, if you guys can see it. So here's the chart angles that I've drawn in terms of support and resistance. Of course, if we had, oh no, what happened? We're gonna call this 450. That's the best range I drew that I'm looking at right now. We'll see if we hold. What do you guys think the big support or resistance areas are on the NASDAQ? Because that's also something that we're gonna be looking at too today. And again, tomorrow we got the Fed meeting. It's a big day. Yeah, so tomorrow we got the Fed meeting. It's a big day. Thoughts on Celsius? Celsius had bad earnings this morning, right? So what's Celsius? I always get the... Is that like C-E-C-H? Yeah, so it's C-E-L-H. Yeah, Celsius is down on their earnings report this morning. They dropped from about 32s down to 30s. Yeah, so we got this range here. The question is, do we start breaking these tops? Not much volatility, maybe in an hour. We got this choppy range. I'm trying not to take too big of positions here. So we got this choppy range. Again, if you want to check out Top Step is an affiliate of mine. They're a sponsor of mine. A great way to learn how to day trade, though, is through Top Step. Again, every day trader thinks they're going to be different. If you put up $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of your own money, if you want to day trade stocks, you're going to need even more than that. If you want to do it actively, you're almost certain to lose your first couple accounts. Most day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow, who your mentor is. Most day traders are going to lose. And so does it make any sense to fund your own account, right? And again, you might say, oh, we'll just use a regular paper account. Number one, if you're going to pay for a real-time paper account outside of Top Step, like pay for real-time data, it's going to cost a similar amount to Top Step's base combine at $50 a month, right? It's going to cost a similar amount. The best thing about Top Step is that it's kind of like a souped up demo account. They give you a demo. They test your skill with it. Base one's $50K. If you can make $3K in profit without losing $2K and following their rules and conditions, they fund you $50K, 90% split, and they've paid out over $100 million. And if you lose, you're only out $50. It's not the end of the world. It's the best of both worlds. It's limited risk versus funding your own account and probably losing your first few accounts. And it just makes no sense. If I could go back in time, I would certainly do this for my first couple of accounts day trading. And even if it's not your first couple of accounts, if you just don't have the money, if you're good enough, you can get funded, withdraw, fund your own account, right? And in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. Patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns, but there's just no PDT rule. great way to test your skill, limit your risk when you're first learning, or even if you're good enough. And if you're good enough, you can get funded. They've paid out over 100 million, and 90% splits pretty easy. They're one of the most legit in the world, probably the most legit one in the world. If you want to check out the link, here it is. No, most of the free ones have delayed data. Yeah, Supermicro dropped. They're down like 25% right now on Supermicro. They're just down huge. There's no maximum time frame, but it's a monthly subscription, Justin. So. And again, I'll try to be a little bit looser with like banning and stuff today. Just be respectful, guys. Be respectful. And that doesn't mean if you're some like weird person just trying to critique not everything I do, you're gonna get banned quickly. But yeah. All right, guys. So all right, we're kind of moving to the top. Look at Nvidia start to run here, Chad. So Nvidia up to 142s. The highs of pre-market on Nvidia, and I would think probably one of the bigger resistance levels is the pre-market high right now at 142.50 or so, 142.50. Nvidia up to 142s. You could also look at like a whole dollar support or resistance level here, but I'm also looking at like the previous closing price to see where we head there. Do you think the market is overpriced right now? I don't think. It depends on the time frame you're looking at. Short term, it's possible. Long term, you never know. I mean, long term, the market's going to go up mostly. One analyst signed off and said, good luck finding an auditor. Downgrades happening already. Honestly, that's the worst thing that could happen for Supermicro Semiconductors, man. It really is. That's like the worst move they could make. Again, it's one of those things that I'm just glad I was right about. I could have gotten wrapped up in the Supermicro Semiconductor like craziness, and I'm just glad I told people the truth. Right? People were asking me prior to this crazy downfall that Supermicro has. People were asking me. Anybody that's been watching my stream for a few months remembers this. People were asking me about Supermicro Semiconductors, and I told them super risky. It's big risk, big reward, but you could lose tons of money investing in this thing. And I think something that you see traders do is traders chase, like, greed leads traders in a lot of bad directions, right? And so people see Supermicro making these crazy big moves, right? These crazy huge moves on the upside. And they want to get rich, right? And they want to tell everybody how great of a trader they are, and they want to gamble, and they want their butterflies in their stomach. They want to make money, and so they start chasing Supermicro Semiconductors, buying it like it's Apple or Amazon or Walmart or something like that, and it's just not. The float's tiny, the risk is profound, and I told people this, and then weeks after I told people this, maybe it was less. I told people that, and I think it was days later, Supermicro Semiconductors started dropping 20, 30, 40%. And now it's down over 100, or no, not over 100. Now it's down over 50% from where it was prior to this. So it was at 50. It's now at 20, 22s. So yeah, over 50% drop in super micro. So just a really rough stock right now. Maybe it's beaten down enough to where it succeeds. I don't know. I think you got to look at EPS revenue trends for that. But I think the problem is that, can you trust the EPS and revenue? Because, they're having auditor problems with all this. So yeah, they're having auditor issues. And so the question is it... Yeah. John, you have called this religiously. I hope and pray new traders don't say, oh, let's buy the dip. There's no audited financials. And they said on the call yesterday, we won't comment on the audit. Of course they won't. They don't want the stock to drop more, right? But I absolutely called this. And again, the problem is that traders are too worried about getting rich to worry about risk management. And I've told people this a lot, but one of the biggest areas, like, listen, if you're struggling swing trading or investing, it's probably for a very specific reason, right? I would say one of the biggest reasons traders struggle investing in companies and swing trading longer term holds is they end up treating mid caps that are very new, like mid cap growth stocks that are very new, that are very young, that are not legacy companies, that have not been around for a very long time, that make these big crazy moves, and they end up treating them and dollar cost averaging into them like they're Apple or Amazon or Walmart or Google or Home Depot, right? These are not blue chip legacy companies like that. This is a new company that has a tiny float that moves ridiculously large percentages. And if you treat mid cap growth stocks like they're Amazon or like they're Walmart, you're going to lose tons of money sometimes, because those stocks can make big moves up. They can also make ridiculously large moves down, like Supermicro dropping over 50% in a couple months. And so if you're going to invest long term, really you should be DCAing into index funds, maybe handpick some blue chip stocks if you think you're good enough to. If you're going to buy up companies like Supermicro Semiconductors, you should really only be doing it with the understanding that you might lose everything you invest into it. So you can take a small percentage of your portfolio and stick it on these type of stocks, right? But you better believe you might lose 50, 60, 70% on those trades, but you also might make 50, 60, 70% or more from it, right? But you can only risk what you're okay with losing with stocks like this, because if you treat them like they're blue chip legacy companies that you can just average into long term and you're wrong, it doesn't justify the risk, right? It doesn't justify the risk. So you can invest small sums of money in it. It shouldn't be your whole portfolio. You shouldn't bag hold Supermicro Semiconductors like it's guaranteed to succeed, because the variance is high. John did call it didn't touch Supermicro even though it was so far down. That's a falling knife. It's not worth catching. Yeah, for sure. JP Morgan Wedbush took time away from the election to downgrade Supermicro already this morning. Yeah, it was rough. All right, guys. Yeah, the election hasn't had much of an influence over the expectations on Thursday. Thursday's decision's already ingrained in the Fed, though. Like, they're not going to change their decision this late. Now, the next Fed decision is probably what you want to take a look at. I'm not sure what this was prior to... I'm not sure what this was prior to... but it looks like they're betting on another, so currently we're at 500. They're thinking about cut. They're most likely going to cut next month down to 475, right? As of now, the odds for December are for another 25 basis point cut, right? So as of now, the odds of December are here. Hold on, let me Yeah, so as of now, the odds are for December are right under 70% at 67% right here. So this is for another 25 basis point cut. So this is under the assumption that tomorrow we're going to cut rates 25, right? And that would bring the current federal funds rate after tomorrow down to this level here, which is 475. And then if we cut rates again, that'll bring it down to 450, right? So basically what the most probable thing right now is 25 basis point cuts meeting to meeting, right? So tomorrow 25 basis point cut, December 25 basis point cut. Now these are things that are going to stimulate the economy. You might ask, hey, how do rate cuts influence the economy? Well, these are short-term interest rates, and by cutting these rates, eventually there's going to be a trickle effect into long-term rates like mortgages and auto loans. We actually had mortgage rates show up this morning already, and again they showed up higher than last time. If we look at interest rates this morning, so the MBA 30-year mortgage rates came out this morning, and they showed up higher than expected, which I think is really interesting. So mortgage rates showed up. I posted it early this morning. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. Let me see if I can find it. But we did have mortgage rates show up, and somebody asked me, I think it was Sam, hey, why are interest rates going up even though the Fed cut? The reason they're going up even though the Fed cut is because there's a lagging effect. So there's a lagging effect. Generally, it takes some time. I'm trying to see my post. I thought I posted it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to find the NBA 30-year mortgage rates, but they did show up higher than expected. I think they showed up at like 6.8 something versus 6.7 something last time. Hey, nice Lolo. Hey, yeah, if you made money, good. Making money right now is good. Of course, it's always good. Green is good. Okay, here's the NBA 30-year mortgage rate. So NBA 30-year mortgage rates came in at 6.8% versus 6.73% expected. So if we look at this, mortgage rates went up, not down. And what you got to take from this here is that there's a lag. So the Fed cut rates in September, right? There's going to be a 3 to 6 month lag. So it takes 3 to 6 months for the last rate cut to have any type of influence over longer term rates like mortgages. If we look at the federal funds graph here, right, so here's the last year, right? August, September. They're already pricing in the next rate cut. And so, which is interesting, look. So again, we had it at 525. We're bringing it back down to around 5. And then this next one, we're going to bring it down to about 75. As close to it as we can. So as of now, we're still waiting for that first cut in September to have any type of significant effect over rates. Hey, Ed, thanks so much. Ed donated $20. He said, here's to Johnny saving folks money on Supermicro. If he saved you anything, buy the man a beer. Yeah, I mean, I don't really necessarily want people to copy me, but I hope people understand, like, stay away from, like, the highly crazy volatile price action that we get in some of these big symbols. Man, and the reason I've been kind of programmed to be this way is because, and thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much. The reason I'm programmed to be this way is because I've seen traders call out penny stocks, push people to buy penny stocks that look like this. And then the long-term chart ends up just looking like this. And then when this inevitably happens in the chart, right, what happens? They cry manipulation. They say, oh, it should have gone up, you know. Like, I think it's a really hard thing for people to accept that not only that they bought the wrong company, but more so that they were just tricked, that they were fooled into buying up crap, right? And so just anything that's up too much, you should be skeptical. Anything that's up too much and their revenue doesn't follow it, you should be skeptical. If revenue follows it up, it's a little bit more justifiable. But, you know, you just got to be smart, trade safe, trade small. Yeah, if you want Top Step link, here it is. Again, they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. They pay me money. Understand. CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart, guys. I can't guarantee anything here. Do not copy me. I'm biased. All that good stuff. And yeah, there's the link if you want it. We got the FOMC meeting coming out soon, chat. All right, NVIDIA testing highs. Getting closer and closer. So again, here's the pre-market high for NVIDIA. I think it's one of the more relevant spots. We got all these big support and resistance levels that have been following pretty close here, chat. So they've been following it pretty close. Yeah, market opens up in about 20 minutes. We got AMC earnings after the bell today. We are going to stream it like we always do. Depends on when the freaking earnings call is for AMC, though, man. Okay, yeah, we'll stream AMC's earnings call. All right, so we're in this range here. I can't help but bring attention to to this little mini support area right here. It's a shorter term level, so I'll make it shorter. But it's a 5-minute chart. We'll give it time. All right, guys, so we're at almost 700s. Yeah, Tesla is what I'm definitely watching at the opening, but I would just be careful today, right? Like, a lot of stuff's already up big. I'm not saying it's going to go down. It's just a lot of it's already up big. I would watch NVIDIA. I would watch Tesla. I would watch the dollar itself, right? The Dixie is going to be a big influence over, like, commodities, like, and metals like gold. So I'd watch the dollar index. My outside of index funds, I'm watching NVIDIA, Tesla, and the Dixie, right? The Dixie, the dollar index, DXY. Those are the top 3 symbols outside of like the NASDAQ, the S&P 5, that I'm going to be paying attention to. So, and I'm curious to see what we get at the opening bell. It should be interesting. We got 20 minutes, chat. 20 minutes. Let me know what you guys think. All right, chat. Yeah, so let's get rid of this. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be day trading live at the open. Let me know your strategy. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching. The Dixie one of the most here. If we pull up the Dixie right now. How do they do it on Trading View? I used to type in the money sign for the Dixie. There it is, the dollar index. On a 1 minute chart, the dollar index is kind of fading down some after big rips this morning. Bro, why does my time zone keep changing? Bro, I feel like every single time I like scroll away on a chart. Why is this? Okay, that's the good time. Okay, yeah. Every time I scroll away on this chart, it changes to some obscure time frame I've never seen. Did somebody call me that? Did somebody call me that? Where? If they did, I didn't see it. Oh, somebody did. Dude, I could never. I don't know. I don't even know if you should have banned T-Bone. But it's alright. Okay, yeah, so T-Bone's the same guy. Okay, so T-Bone's the same guy in a different account. See, this is how they do it, right? Which is crazy, man. Like, the amount of no life you have to behave this way, right? So, we're being internet detectives this morning, right? So this guy T-Bone, so there was some guy tried to insult me, but Nightbot caught it because Nightbot, you know, it's preserver of good, Nightbot. But Nightbot caught it. So the guy never was able to say the insult because it was flagged immediately. So it never actually went out in chat. Yet this guy T whatever creates a different account, right? A different account. And then says, oh, did somebody call you this? It's like, how would you know then, sir? It starts with a C. I'm not going to say what he called me, but it starts with a C. But it's interesting. People are strange, man. Imagine, put yourself in their shoes. Imagine insulting a YouTuber and then you getting so like butthurt that your insult didn't go through that you hurry up, you create a different name and log into that name and then try to insult them on that name. Like, who does this stuff, man? Again, I'll give you a little bit of room if you're like under 20, right? If you're like a child and you behave that way, that's childish, sure. I mean, I can't say I behaved any better as a teenager, but if you're over 20, bro, and you're still acting like that, man, you know. It's all good. I mean, I'll talk about it for the drama. But, yeah. World's third best. Yeah, they might be young. Again, I'm giving them a little bit of room. It's all good. Pay the troll toll. Yeah. Oh, I got my trash cans out there, bro. I was late, dude. Honestly, my knee hurts from jiu-jitsu. I got hurt, bro. I think what happened was that I collided. Oh my gosh, I collided knees with somebody else when I was rolling, and my knee's still all jacked up, dude. I'm not gonna be able to train for at least a couple weeks. Yeah. I mean, look, I get it, man. You're looking on YouTube, you're browsing, you see my, beautiful face, and you're like, man, this dude is just too handsome. I must hate him. I get it. Listen, I get it. That's all right. I might hate me too, guys. I might hate me too. Yeah, so the Q is right at the $500 level. The NASDAQ is the same price action. I'm trying to see where the $500 level would be on the actual NASDAQ itself. It would be right. See, the Q is a little bit different than the NASDAQ, though, in terms of price. Oh, this is a 5-minute chart. Let's put a 1-minute chart up and take a look at it that way. So here's a 1-minute chart. Yeah, so the $500 level is right around this spot right here, 654. So on the NASDAQ is right around it. I'm going to try to raise this level up just a little bit. That's about 500 on the QQQ. CCL? Yeah. Let me see, CCL. Carnival is up big. What, coach? Are you calling me coach? Or did I say coach? Did I say it? John Norton, hit the live button. You're probably, I'm not delayed. You're probably just paused it somewhere and never resumed it or got delayed in the stream. Hit the live button next to the play button. It should catch you back up. All right, guys, we got 12 minutes left. All right. All right, we're right at that $500 level. Q bounced directly off of it. Why is Carnival Cruise up so much? Is he like homies with the new president or something? Is he like homies? Because it's hard to tell. Yeah, you're just delayed on the stream, bro. All right, guys. Hey, market opens up in 11 minutes. We have no economic data today. It's kind of boring. Yeah, we're just hanging out, guys. I'm trying to let some stuff happen, but the range is too tight, too small, too boring. Not a lot of stuff going down. Again, if you want to day trade with me, we're going to be day trading live at the opening bell using Top Step. We're down, but we're slightly down. We made some money, lost some money this morning, and now we're sitting pretty neutral here. We got 9 minutes left, chat. 9 minutes left. Is Rivian down that much? It's probably on Tesla's strength, right? Like, Rivian and Tesla are competitors, although Rivian's a different niche. Right? Rivian was smart in that it separated itself from Tesla. The problem a lot of these EV companies do, right? Like, you see these EV companies, what a lot of them do wrong, and it's pretty obvious. What a lot of them do wrong is this. They end up, like what Rivian does wrong, or what a lot of these up-and-coming EV brands do is that they end up just trying to create carbon copies of Tesla. Like, you see this a lot with a lot of these EV brands where they're just creating Tesla lookalikes. Like, their cars look just like Tesla. And so it doesn't separate them enough to make people. So then if the option is a car that looks like a Tesla or an actual Tesla, most people are going to just go with the actual Tesla. It's got more support, more infrastructure, more backup stuff, like much more support for the car company overall. So if a lot of these up-and-coming EV brands are going to succeed, they have to separate themselves from Tesla in that regard. And that's something that Rivian has done well. Like Rivian's EV SUVs, they're EV trucks mostly. And they're fast too. The Rivian truck, one of them does like 11 seconds, 10 seconds, quarter mile. So they're very quick as well, but they're different. They're trucks. You know, they've got a bed on them. They're actual SUVs. And I'm not talking about like Tesla's SUV that just kind of looks like a big old car. We're talking about actual SUV, electric SUVs. And so Rivian has separated themselves from it. At the same time, though, most people, when you ask them, hey, if you had to buy an EV, what would you buy? They would either say Tesla or a legacy automotive brand, right? And so it's still going to be a long race to the top for anybody outside of Tesla, because Tesla is just production numbers are just blowing everybody else out the water. To be fair, every car looks the same. Well, every Tesla looks the same, but that's the brand identity for Tesla. You know, what you don't want, and again, you see it with like the Mullen CEO. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Mullen CEO. I don't even know if Mullen's still around. But he kind of looked like a mix between Elvis and Elon, right? So I think they're just too many people are trying to copy Elon. You know what I mean? Like too many people are trying to copy Elon. And, you know, the problem is they have to separate themselves from it. You know, like you got to separate themselves from it. Like this looks like the Wish.com version of Elon. And again, the problem is people just have to separate themselves. Like here's Mullen CEO. He used to have big old sideburns. I don't know what happened to him. But it looks like he's trying to be Elon too much. Let him live his life though. I'm not mad at you, guy. I can't remember his name. It's like David something, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, again, I think in 20 years, cars are going to be driving themselves, right? And so I think the future of driving is autonomously. But I think that we're, infrastructure-wise, we still got a ways to go. But it depends, man. We'll see. They can make big strides, fast strides. And so I think within 10 to 15 years, I think cars are going to be driving themselves. And I think if Tesla is still on the front of that, they'll do very, very well, of course. The risks are how long does that take, how much infrastructure builds up, all that good stuff. But again, that's what we kind of see here. Is I think in the future, cars are going to drive themselves. I know that's kind of a far-fetched idea for a lot of people. I think it's a really hard thing for a lot of people to look at technology and imagine that. Because they don't, you know, a lot of, especially the older population fears technology in that way. But I think the technology is virtually there. And I think, looking deep into the future, it's definitely going to be there eventually, where cars just drive themselves. It's going to solve a lot of problems, you know, so. Yeah, and I think this election obviously is good for Elon. And again, I'm not really super political, but I think it's good for him for sure. All right, so we're testing that support level right here. We got 5 minutes until the market opens. Yeah, I mean, bonds are going to be taking a hit with rate cuts. Yields are up. Typically, yields go up as bond prices fall. So, but typically, as rates are cut, generally bond prices go up and yields go down. And so yields being up this morning, which I see like 10-year yields are currently at 4.5% almost. So by looking at yields go up, right? And this is the way you could always look at it as rates go down, bond prices go up and yields go down, right? So whichever way bond prices go, yields go the opposite way. So if bond prices go down, yields go up. If bond prices go up, yields go down. Right, and so with yields going up this morning, there's a few conclusions that we can have from it. One of them is that they're expecting more hawkish stance by the Fed, right? Why? Because a hawkish stance means higher interest rates. As rates go higher, bond prices go down and yields go up, is the logic, okay? And so with seeing yields go up, it essentially means a more hawkish Fed, a more restrictive monetary policy Fed is what we're seeing. Palantir, look at that. So we bounced right at that $500 level. Remember, we talked about how this was the $500 level on the QQQ, and look, we bounced directly off of that level. Yeah, I used to go to LSU baseball games. I just remember the song. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. I can't remember what song. John Fogerty, center field. The GOAT baseball song, one of the greatest baseball songs ever. All right, guys. We got 2.5 minutes. Yeah, super micro. I'm just not touching it, man. Google's up pretty big this morning too. Google's up to almost 175.50s, high pre-market, almost 176s. All right, guys, we got 500 people here. We got 2.5 minutes. We're going to day trade the opening bell. Keep it short and sweet today, but we are going to be day trading. Nvidia going off. Yeah, so I'm looking at the dollar. We got Tesla up here. I'm gonna put Nvidia. Again, the big currencies the big stuff I'm gonna watch this morning. I'm gonna watch Nvidia. I'm gonna watch Tesla, and then I'm gonna watch the Dixie, all very closely. Tesla pop it up, Nvidia pop it up as we get closer to the opening bell. And I think that's an understandable conclusion here, is that we might get upward, like, bullish action. I'm gonna put my funded account up, but I think it's an understandable thing. We might get like bullish action leading into the opening bell this morning. So I don't think that's a crazy conclusion here and everything. I think stuff might just start ripping at the open. All right, guys, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh, that's nice. All right, guys, here we go. I'm gonna have to put up micro contracts here on my challenge account. All right, here's the opening bell, guys. So the opens happened. And the opens here, chat. Let's see if we get some good action here, some bullish movement. All right, guys, so the opening bell is here. Let's see if we get some big runs. Wow. I think in theory we could run at the open, but we could also just profit take at the opening bell too. So I think it's either way could happen. I would just be careful. Look at Carnival Cruise rip up, Google rip it up. I think the whole market kind of wants us to go higher, but we could get profit taking. Who knows? Consolidation happening at first. Let's see if we get some bullish action here. I think the logical direction is up, of course, but I think that almost is too obvious here too, right? Yeah, so I think the logical direction is higher. Yeah, so there's the pump, right? So here again, here's the big rips at the opening bell. Wow. Crazy action here, guys. I would just be careful. You know, we did get a new president here, so. Big upwick pressure. It might take some time to really flatten out too. Alright, so we're gonna buy this up. One contract here, try to ride this rebound. We're gonna add to it. So we can play with this. So 40 bucks, we're gonna go ahead and lock that in. Beautiful here. All right, so we just made about $60. You love to see it. We'll see if we can keep it up. Look at this big pump, chat. Look at this big move. Wow. We lagging? Look at that pump at the opening bell. Again, I think the obvious direction was on the upside, right? I think it's pretty clear. I think this is one of the most obvious upward movements we've gotten. Now we're finally getting a dip here. I think a lot of people are going to be buying dips too. All right, so we got a huge dip. Again, we got this big dip. I'm not confident enough to buy it up because I think sometimes everybody expects this. Maybe I should have bought it up. Wow, look at that pump. All right, so we got the opening big run that we've got. Now, it's not a huge run, but we got the opening pressure here. The problem is now the opening direction is a little bit too obvious, I think, too. All right, chat. So we got a big pump up again. Look at that move. Wow. Let's see if it holds. A big pump up already, though. Again, one of the more predictable moves in markets. Nvidia's breaking highs, looking strong. Let's see if it slows down now. We'll buy a pullback too if we get it, but all right, so we got a big run up. Let's see if we start to turn. All right, so big run up, and now we're getting bought up again. So we get a big pump up, surge. If I do short, it's not going to be like a super long-term short. It's just going to be like a really quick, kind of a correctional short. All right, so we're up big. Look at us break highs again, getting close to it here. We're right at the highs of the day again. Let's see if we get the pressure to do it. We keep pushing up over highs here. It looks like it wants to slow down, but man, who knows? Again, it's too big to pump. It's too big to short. Too strong to short, too extended to buy up right now. We're right at the highs of the day. Let's see if we correct a little bit more. Big surge. What a pump, and then a complete retracement back down. Yeah, I'm not shorting it yet. It's too extended. I might start shorting now, just because we're up too much. But we got a cushion on the day in this funded account. We'll see if we get anything better. Again, we're taking small micro contracts today. I know long is the obvious direction, but I do think profit taking is going to happen eventually short term from everybody trying to ride this pump. Question is, how long does the pump last? And again, it's a small trade regardless. All right, so we got 4 contracts here. We're not going to take any more than this. All right, we took a little bit off there just to protect it. All right, we took half off there, and we got out there. So we made money again. I don't know how much we're up overall today on this account. We're up something. We're up $100 roughly, give or take, in this funded account. Up about $100. But again, we're taking very quick short-term trades. I just don't. Yeah, it's risky. Q broke all-time highs. Q currently up to 504s right now. 503s, 504s. Look at Tesla up here as well, chat. So Tesla's just been making some moves. It's now at 289s. Again, if you want to day trade with me, try TopStep. TopStep funds traders and futures. They give them a demo. They test your skill with the demo. If they pass the test, they fund them. If they fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $50 basically for the base one. If you fail, you only lose $50 a monthly subscription. If you pass it, you get $50K in funding, 90% split. It's just a good way to test your skill. It's kind of like a souped up demo account. And so, you know, it's a demo account, get you real-time data. You can test your skill. If you pass it, you get some cool stuff. If you fail it, you know, it's similar to what you would pay for a regular demo account. In the futures market, you can day trade the SPY, the Q, price action, and the NASDAQ and the S&P. Really, they're what the SPY and Q track. If you want to check them out, they are an affiliate or a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. I'm biased. But honestly, they're genuinely something very useful for traders. They're a powerful company, and I think they're just really, really useful. Somebody's talking about Palantir. Palantir's up to 54s right now, 54s. Yeah, so again, they're trying to find Harris. Harris says that the Harris campaign says that she's going to speak today, though. So they did have some news that said she's going to speak. So we're finally getting some pullbacks here. Where's Bitcoin at this morning? Yeah, Bitcoin at 75,500. Bitcoin getting close to all-time highs. All-time highs are right around 75.5K for Bitcoin. It's getting there. The question is, do you buy up this dip right now? I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you buy up this dip? We had some pretty good results this morning, but it could be worse. Like, we're green on the day slightly. Hey, see ya, Tiny. Have a great day. Yeah, Bitcoin hit all-time highs earlier this morning. I'm saying, will it break it again? Bitcoin hit all-time highs like right at midnight last night, really. That's a big old candle. I'm going to buy this up. And we just made some more. Nice little gain there. So we should be up about $100 small gains today. It's election day. We're trading small. Yeah, we're up almost exactly. We're up $99.84 today. I'll take it. We do have services PMI. Or no, we don't have that today, do we? I don't think that's today, Pawn. I think that is yesterday. Am I wrong? Let me check. I might be wrong. No, we don't have PMI today, brother. PMI was yesterday on Tuesday. Today, the only thing we have is crude oil inventories. It's Wednesday today. So tomorrow we got the Fed meeting. Yesterday we had services PMI. We had mortgage data come out, but services PMI doesn't drop today. That was yesterday. Came out yesterday. Yeah, all good. All right, we made our little $100 today. I'm gonna probably bow out of here, guys. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, as did most people here. So I'm gonna get out of here. I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Again, tomorrow is the FOMC meeting. Later on today, we are gonna stream AMC earnings live. AMC drops their earnings report later today. We are gonna stream the full thing live, as we always do. I know I'm getting out of here a little bit early, and that's okay. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Again, check out TopStep if you want, trade with me every day. We made about $100 on our funded account. I'll take it. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be good. I love you all. Y'all be careful today. Big swings up and down. A lot of stuff's up big already. things are up big already. I would just be very careful today, guys. I would just be very careful. Listen, I love you all. You'll have a great day, regardless of who you rooted for in the election. It's all love here, guys. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or I'll see you guys later on today in a couple hours for AMC earnings. And then tomorrow, the big boy Fed meeting. Later, chat.